increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details. Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Here we go, another edition of the Coach's Corner. This week, it is the Freedom Bulldogs from beautiful Freedom, Pennsylvania, right down Route 65, close to where I live, John.
I know.
So you got to be nice to these folks. There's only a couple of school districts away.
Fair warning.
A couple of school districts away from me. Mike Azadian, John Parada. We are with Freedom coach Ron Balog. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Balog. I know it looks like Balog, but it's Balog. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. We got four of your players. They're eating pizza and making fun of each other right now. Their quarterback showed up last. Is that something that you frown on if your quarterback shows up last on a practice field?
Well, you know, he's even keel. He's never high. He's never low.
Okay. So if I bust his chops a little bit, it's okay. Because the other guys told me it was all right. Specifically, Wyatt Boyer told me it was okay to get on him. We've got Cody Patterson, Ty Welsh, Ty Schultheis, and Wyatt Boyer, four senior captains coming with us too.
Yes, well, that's a lineman telling you to give the quarterback some issues. So
it looks like he can handle me. He's a big kid.
He's a big kid.
So, Coach, your first year at Freedom, but it's not your first year as a high school coach. And, last week you had the emotional job of going into your old school, Quaker Valley, and having to play them and playing against some assistants and maybe some kids. And we talked about that a little bit. Talk to me about how that was for you as a coach to go back to where you were coaching for, 3-4 years there?
Yeah, I was the head coach at Quaker Valley for 4 years.
Right.
From 2018 through 2021. Mm-hmm. And it was a great experience there. I loved all 4 years there. We had a really good team in 2018. And so this current group of juniors and seniors at Quaker Valley, I coached. Uh-huh. And so last Friday was kind of an emotional day for me,
right?
Just because I had such great experiences there.
But now you're at Freedom, and you took over in March, and things have completely changed there. The offense has changed. Things are it's like a whole new system. Talk to us about how the kids and how everybody's taken your leadership there.
Well, from about mid-March when I got the job, the kids have been fantastic. We started in the weight room, and we started with our sprint-based program shortly after that. And then we got, as we transitioned to summer, we started to install the offense, and the offense is different from what they had been running in previous years, which was a wing tee-based offense, which is near and dear to my heart. But over the past several years, I've gravitated more towards the spread game.
Ron, you came in March and you overhauled the offense. You decided to go more of a passing game than Freedom had been used to for the last few years. How long did it take you to implement your offense, and at what point did you get the feeling, hey, our guys are really starting to get the hang of this now?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the offense itself is pretty simple, and I think these guys will attest to that from a passing game standpoint. So we started to talk about it, obviously, in the winter, and then in the spring we started to get into actual implementation into the summer. And probably we had our first 7-on-7 at Pitt at the end of June, and we did pretty well that day. And I was over the top happy that we were where we were. at that point.
I know you had a little bit of a slow start offensively last week. You had 6 points at halftime, but then you really turned it on in the second half, and you had some players put up some really big statistics. I know you got nearly or maybe over 400 yards, I guess. What clicked in the second half there that got you guys going?
Well, I think in the second half, we first of all up front, which is vitally important. Those guys played much better in the second half, and especially in the third quarter. And so if they play better, we have enough skilled guys that we can spread it around.
Yeah.
Coach, speaking of that, you have, it looks like 7 returning seniors, I think it is. Yeah, and you've got some skill at talent, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, a couple of running backs, and 3 offensive linemen, or line guys. So a lot of times you get a lot of line guys and not a lot of skill guys back. Some teams have a lot of skill guys back, but lines, it seems like you have a combination of both, which is good because you want to have that strength up front, but you also want to have some skill guys that know what to do when they get the ball.
Well, you do, Mike. You absolutely do. And one thing I would say is that there's a really good mix on our roster, which is 36 of linemen and skilled. And, sometimes in the smaller classifications, you kind of get maybe heavy one way or the other during cycles. But we're pretty fortunate to be stocked both sides.
One thing I did notice is probably almost half of your roster is sophomore and freshman. You do have a good contingent of juniors, which is good, probably about 9 or 10 juniors. But unlike some teams that are senior and junior heavy, you're bringing along some younger kids too. So kids are coming up into the program wanting to play, which is good for your future, not only this year, but in the future as well.
That's correct, Mike. And I think, a lot of that that just lends itself to the fact that the junior high coaches that we've had in place for the past few years, plus Coach Rosa, as he's been there, they did a good job of cultivating the younger groups. And, of course, the youth organization does a pretty good job in Freedom.
John?
Your defense also had a very good game last Friday against Quaker Valley. 4 turnovers and forced in the first half, which is pretty impressive to force that many in one half. I know Cody Patterson had 3 interceptions, and I know you have a veteran secondary with all 4 starters back. How did you feel on the whole your defense played on opening night?
Well, defensively, we felt really good, especially after the first quarter. The first quarter, they were able to make a couple of drives. They scored the 1 touchdown, and then they had a decent drive at the beginning of the third quarter. But we knew the secondary was going to be our strength, at least early on, because we had some new guys playing linebacker. But we felt really, really good about being able to take the ball away.
Well, we're going to take our first break. I want to remind everybody that Pizza Joe's helping us out with a donation of pizza for these young men. Pizza Joe's in Beaver. Don't forget to call them for your pizza needs. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with 2 of the young men from Freedom, 2 of the senior leaders, right here on the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio.
Local news, local topics, local conversation.
Right.
You're listening to AM Beaver County on 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and 1460 WMBA. Presented by St. Barnabas and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
This is Mitch Carver from Carver Construction. Playing a great football game takes teamwork, great leaders, and great individuals. As a former high school football coach myself, I know what it takes to win. I apply these same qualities to Carver Construction in New Brighton. Satisfying customers isn't anything new at Carver. We've been doing it since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. I'm behind every job we do, so I can guarantee you that every time you deal with us, you win. Call us or visit us at our website at carverconstructionpa.com.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
It's football season, and now is the perfect time to get to a new vehicle from Beaver County Auto and show up at the next tailgate party in style. This is PJ with Beaver County Auto, and we have a cooler full of special deals on new vehicles. During the Make This the Summer event, now through Labor Day at Beaver County Auto, right now you can get a $6,000 Baba Beaver discount on a 22 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, or how about a 10% off MSRP on the new 23 Jeep Renegade Latitude, or employee pricing on a 23 Jeep Gladiator Overland. Plus, if you buy a new vehicle right now, Beaver County Auto will cover your first year of basic maintenance with guaranteed credit approval and a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our great selection of vehicles at 3 locations, including Beaver County Nissan, Beaver County Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, you can pick out the perfect vehicle. You can also shop online and apply for a loan anytime at beavercountyauto.com. Get to Chippewa and we'll make you a Baba Beaver believer.
Welcome to tonight's edition of Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. This show features the local headmasters of high school football talking about their upcoming games, star players, personal philosophies, and much more. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
And we're back. Coach's Corner, second edition, Freedom Bulldogs. Last week, we had the Blackhawk Cougars on, and we don't know who's going to be on next week, but it's the first of our traveling road show. We're going to start getting out into the community, different restaurants, and people are going to start hosting us. So, folks, if you know anybody that has an interest in hosting us, let us know, because we're for hire. We're going to come out, we're going to come to your community, and we're going to bring some players, and they're going to eat, and we're going to have fun. But now, speaking of eating, these guys had a couple pieces of pizza each. Wyatt Boyer and Ty Welsh. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
I like the Freedom Bulldog gear. No, I noticed nobody brought 3X shirts for me and John.
Next week.
Next week you guys will be sitting around listening to us. Well, guys, welcome. You're two of the senior leaders on this team. You know, last year we talked off air a little bit. You guys started out strong. It looked like a team that was going to fight for the playoffs, but toward the end you guys had numerous close games. It was just close loss after close loss. How tough was that to have so many games you were in, but then things just didn't go right toward the end of the year and you didn't make the playoffs?
Well, as you said, they were close games, which are tough to lose, but at the end of the night, one team wins and one team loses. And a lot of the times we lost was because of our own small mistakes, which we ended up patching. And this year, especially, we have patched many of those mistakes, so we should be all right.
Well, Ty, let me ask you, learning from that and now being a senior, what are you telling the sophomores, the kids that maybe in the juniors, maybe that experienced it a little bit, and the upcoming freshmen? What kind of things are you telling them to expect and to build on from that experience last year?
Just to pay attention and learn from the seniors.
Okay. He's the quiet one, John. We're going to have to get a little bit out of him.
Wyatt, I know offensive linemen don't always get a lot of credit.
Yeah.
You're kind of the anonymous guys, but when you see this guy run for 203 yards last week, your quarterback Ty Schulheis throw for 179, and when you put up those kind of numbers and win and score 3 touchdowns in the second half, how much pride do you guys up front take in putting up big numbers like you guys did in opening night?
I mean, we always take pride in, or especially running backs, because up front, that's where a lot of the tough happens. But as you've probably seen in film and such, our first half of the Quaker Valley game was not ideal up front. But I believe we all, as a group, came together and patched it up, and we got it done.
Tyler, 203 yards right out of the chute the first night of the season. You obviously, I'm sure you had to be happy about that. And how were you able to get that many yards? Usually people ease into the season. You were in mid-season form there on week 0.
Yeah, just like all off season, working hard.
What did you do? Anything specific in the off season? What was your kind of workout routine like?
Track helped a lot and a lot of lifting.
Oh, really? What do you run? Did you run on the track team? What?
Yeah, I do the 100-meter.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, let's talk about this. Wyatt, any other sports besides football?
Well, I'm on our bocce team, which is a Special Olympics program.
Right. I've heard about that. Okay.
Yeah. Then I also throw, shot put, and disc for track.
So talk about that Special Olympics program. Obviously, it's doing things like that, or just you get a lot out of it. You're doing something to help kids, but it kind of makes you realize how good you have it. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, honestly, at least, I don't know if this is what you're asking, but my favorite part about it is no matter if we win or lose, we always have fun.
With the kids, yeah.
Absolutely. And every time we walk out of it, especially on a big win, like we have playoffs, when we win playoffs, it's like we won the Super Bowl, and it's awesome.
So, Ty, you said you run track. Anything else besides football and track?
No.
That's it. So let's talk about your future. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be after? Are you going to go to college? Are you going to go to trade school? Are you going to go to work? What are you going to do after high school?
I want to go to college to play football, but
You don't know yet.
yeah.
Anybody looking at you? Anybody, any feelers? Anybody knocking at the door yet?
No, not really.
Here's
Somebody
a hint.
will.
Here's a hint. If you keep gaining 200 yards a game, somebody will be interested. Don't worry.
Wyatt, how about you? Any plans after high school? What do you plan on doing?
I've always looked at mechanical engineering,
Okay.
but for schools, maybe Case Western or anywhere.
You're just going to go to school for school, or
Yeah.
you think you might play football?
I would like to play ball,
Uh-huh.
but I can't say yes or no yet. So
But school is important. John, what do you got for these guys?
Ambridge coming up Friday night. You're coming off a good win opening night, and I'm, trying to build some momentum. What do you think about the game coming up with Ambridge on Friday? What's your thoughts?
Ambridge is definitely a beatable team in our eyes, especially after watching film. But also we know we can't make silly, small mistakes like we have previously. And I believe we've prepared very well in this week coming to it, and we should be looking pretty good.
I know a lot of times coaches say the biggest improvement of the season comes from between week 1 and week 2. It looked like the biggest improvement also came from the first half to the second half in week 0. So I shouldn't say week 1 to week 2, week 0 to week 1. I beg your pardon on that one. How much do you look forward to improving and keep growing after the way you did in making the in-game adjustments like you did against Quaker Valley?
I mean, like you said, in-game adjustments, every team's different, and we can look at film all day and say this is what they're going to bring at us, but then Friday night, it's a complete different scheme. So, I mean, that's where experience comes in a lot. You just have to know who to pick up, like on the O-line, inside guy, and what have you with that.
Well, that was Wyatt Boyer and Ty Welsh. Guys, thank you very much. We're going to bring two of your teammates in, Cody Patterson and Ty Schultheis. We'll see if they can do better than you. We're going to probably quiz them on you guys. No, I'm just kidding. We'll ask who ate the most pizza. Speaking of pizza, Pizza Joe's. I had to look and make sure I got the right pizza place. Man, I can't do that wrong. They treat us well. Pizza Joe's in Beaver. Thank you to them for their sponsorship. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with two more young men from Freedom right here on the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. All right, guys. Thank you very, very much.
Get the appreciation you deserve and the easy terms that make it possible. Don't let your team down, no matter what league you play in, because right now, Freedom United Federal Credit Union is accepting applications for funding, whatever you have in mind, from a home remodeling project to a trip to the big away game, even a new field for the team.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
At Geneva College, your academic experience will prepare you with exceptional expertise in your chosen field. But what you'll learn is so much more than just that. Integrating faith and learning, you'll grow to see God's purpose and calling in your life's work. You'll be challenged to imagine how the world around you could be different and what your part might be in making that difference. You were made to live courageously. Visit geneva.edu today.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
At Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com. Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We're back. Coach's Corner. Freedom Bulldog Edition. Red and white. It is red and it is white. I can't mess that up. But we're with two more young men, two more seniors. Senior wide receiver, defensive back Cody Patterson, and senior quarterback, defensive back Ty Schultheis. I think I said that right, didn't I, Ty?
Yeah.
So, guys, let's talk about this team. And you guys have been on this team now 4 years. You guys played significantly last year. Talk to us about the changes that your coach, Coach Balog, has made. Talk to us about that, Ty.
From last year, I rather we ran the ball a lot more last year.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we're like a passing team. We have the receivers to pass.
Okay.
And last year was like Damian Grenigal the whole time.
Right.
And, I feel like everyone
More of a running offense last year. This year's spreading it out.
Everyone wanted the ball, but he always got it. But this year, everyone's getting the fair share, and everyone's having they're actually entertained with the plays.
Before I get to Cody, so as the quarterback, you get to spread it around.
Yeah.
So is it whoever's open, or is there certain guys you're going to go to that you trust? As a quarterback, sometimes you get that trust with certain guys, but then you also see guys that are open, but, oh, boy, he's dropped a couple. I don't know if I want to throw to him. What's your decision process there? Or is it different reads? You go to – how's it work?
Usually we have, our route tree, and I know, whoever's, like up first. Like I know who's going to get the ball first, and if they're not open, I look to like the other receivers. But like last week, Cooper kind of had a bad game, and he dropped a few. But like I came back to him, and he made a big play against Quaker Valley, and he showed up. But
Okay, good. Cody, as a wide receiver, you have to be thrilled with a spread out offense now. I mean, as a running offense, you're blocking more, and sometimes it's tough to keep your head in the game, I know, but now you got to be in every play because that one play could mean the game, especially as a wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. You got to take every play like you're going to get the ball because you never know when you're going to get it or not. So when you get the ball, you just got to make the most out of it.
John?
Cody, last week you had 12 catches for 146 yards, a couple touchdowns, and you had 3 interceptions on what are you prouder of? And I mean, those are pretty impressive statistics both ways for one game. What makes you happy? The interceptions or the catches and the touchdowns?
Honestly, just getting the win. Don't really matter about that as long as we win.
12 balls, a lot of balls in one game. I mean, what's that say about the connection you and Ty have made to be able to, hook up that many times in a game? And I'm sure Quaker Valley, after a while, figured they're throwing a lot to this guy, and I'm sure they covered you even tighter once it got into the flow of the game. So how did that all work out?
Yeah, all summer. I mean, chemistry's been there. We've been playing since we're maybe 5 years old, so. Wow. We played a long time. Chemistry's definitely there, and all summer we've been grinding. So he knows where I'm going to be always. I'm just looking to find open grass, and he just hits me and do the rest.
Ty, we talked to Coach Ball. I knew I would say it. Ballog. I knew I was going to screw it up. And obviously you have a different offense, like Mike alluded to. When you're used to running one offense, now all of a sudden you got to learn a new playbook, a new system. How much work was that for you, and how long did it take you to get comfortable with it and say, hey, I kind of have a pretty good idea now what we're doing here?
Like, probably a week before our first game, I felt comfortable, and I didn't really need the band that much because I knew some of the plays by heart, so I was certain with what I was doing. Our run, we have 2 different cards, and one's a run game, pass game. I knew the run game very well because we do a lot of run game at practice. As Welsh had a big game last week, and I don't know, it's probably all summer basically. I knew I learned.
And what does it mean to be able to? I mean, you work on it all summer and in practice and in a scrimmage, but to go out on the field, and I know it was a little uneven first half, but to see it all click in the second half, how good a feeling is that after you've been spending months on this, trying to get it right?
It felt amazing actually, completing and showing what we could do with the ball in the air, and I was just surprised with all the receivers. I just put it up and the receivers are athletic, and I make them have a good catch, and they need the ball as much. So.
Well, what we're going to do is, since we have so many great sponsors, we're going to take another break. We're going to keep these 2 here, and then we're going to bring those other 2 young men back again before we bring the coach back one last time. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio.
It's football season, and now is the perfect time to get to a new vehicle from Beaver County Auto and show up at the next tailgate party in style. This is PJ with Beaver County Auto, and we have a cooler full of special deals on new vehicles. During the Make This the Summer event, now through Labor Day at Beaver County Auto, right now you can get a $6,000 Baba Beaver discount on a 22 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, or how about a 10% off MSRP on the new 23 Jeep Renegade Latitude, or employee pricing on a 23 Jeep Gladiator Overland. Plus, if you buy a new vehicle right now, Beaver County Auto will cover your first year of basic maintenance with guaranteed credit approval and a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our great selection of vehicles at 3 locations, including Beaver County Nissan, Beaver County Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, you can pick out the perfect vehicle. You can also shop online and apply for a loan anytime at beavercountyauto.com. Get to Chippewa and we'll make you a Baba Beaver believer.
Beaver County! Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. this is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Community College of Beaver County's high school academies are providing Western Pennsylvania's young people with high-impact educational experiences and preparing them for careers in aviation, health, STEM, criminal justice, mascara construction, and education. They're the first choice for juniors, seniors, and parents to jumpstart a college education, find a career path and passion, and save time and money along the way. Soar to success, prepare to care, code like a pro, serve and protect, inspire learning, and build the future. It's college here and now. Visit ccbc.edu/HS programs or call 724-480-3424 to learn more. Did you know Fisher's New Brighton Foodland is as close as a click? That's right. You can order your groceries right from your home. Click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com and fill your shopping cart up. It's just that easy. Or stop in to shop for your favorite items. They specialize in fresh meats, hoagies, bakery items, and of course the deli. Pick up a delicious hot meal to go like fried chicken dinners, and don't forget fried fish every Friday. Don't cook, make it a Foodland Day. Visit Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, your one stop to shop for all needs, or click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com.
Get the appreciation you deserve and the easy terms that make it possible. Don't let your team down, no matter what league you play in, because right now, Freedom United Federal Credit Union is accepting applications for funding, whatever you have in mind, from a home remodeling project to a trip to the big away game, even a new field for the team.
Your success is our success. We belong to you.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
The Coach's Corner, second segment with Cody Patterson and Ty Schulteis. The people were texting us, telling us they're so much fun that we had to keep them on again. Just to let you guys know, besides being on WBVP and WMBA, 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1460 and 1230 AM, we are on Beaver County Radio YouTube, and we are also on the WBVP Facebook page, so that's how you're seeing us live. Guys, let's talk a little bit about other sports. Let's start with you, Cody. Do you play any other sports besides football?
Yeah, I do track and I also do wrestling, but this year I'm gonna quit wrestling and then go play basketball.
Oh, you're gonna play some basketball?
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
What made you decide that? That's an interesting move.
Yeah, I've always played basketball growing up, and it's always came fun to me, so switch it up.
Ty, how about you?
I was a big baseball player when I was like younger.
Yeah.
Like middle school, and I just stopped playing and focused on football, but
it's okay.
Maybe I'll come back this year and play my senior year in baseball.
Now, there were a lot of kids. It used to be when we were growing up, kids played 3 sports. Your coach Ron's going to tell you. there were kids that played 4 sports. Okay, and I know that's unimaginable to kids now because you have to dedicate so much time to football to be good, to be better than the other teams. How tough is it for you guys not to want to play 2 and 3 sports?
I feel like track, it doesn't waste that much time. So like we're still working during track, during football, getting everything done. So
Right.
it's not really a big.
Plus, you're running and you're
Yeah.
gearing yourself up for that. Okay, Ty.
Baseball and like football, like beginning of baseball always starts like during football, like in the winter, like lifting.
Uh-huh.
It's like I don't want to miss that. I'd rather just start like I'd rather focus on one sport than 2. So like I kind of gave baseball up to focus more on football. That
I understand, John.
Wanted to ask you about Ambridge coming up on Friday night, and Mike will be the sideline reporter, which he's made perfectly clear here. I know it's not necessarily a big rivalry game because there's not a lot of history between the 2 schools, but you are adjoining school districts. You think you're kind of excited to play your next-door neighbors?
Yeah, for sure. I know a couple of us. We know a lot of guys from there, so it should be fun to play them.
Ty, what do you think about playing the Bridgers? I know you played them last year, so you get another shot at them this year.
I was impressed how we played last year too against them. I mean, we had a big play last year. It got called back, but like we were another year this year against them, and I think we'll be all right this year against them and see how it is.
Let's talk about the fans, the school support, your classmates. What's it like for you guys? I mean, this is your 4th year doing it. You come out on a Friday night, you're under the lights, parents, you got good support at Freedom. A lot of people come to the games. What's that like to come out of the locker room and see all those people rooting for you?
It feels good, especially when you have the band playing, the cheerleaders, and you got our student section, they're always screaming. So it's a good environment to be around. Definitely gets you pumped up.
You feel like, Ty, I'll ask you this, do you feel like sometimes, a lot of people, kids, that school spirit's not that big of a deal, but do you feel like a pride wearing the Freedom jersey? Does it make you feel good to have that Freedom on your front? Are you more worried about the Freedom on the front or the name on the back?
Freedom on the front, most certainly.
Okay, good. Let's talk about what you want to do once you leave high school. Can't play football forever, whether you go to trade school, whether you take a job, whether you go to college. Cody, what's in your future? I know it's still early in the senior year, but what are your plans right now?
School's definitely an option, but I've always wanted to, growing up, go to the Marines. My dad was in the Marines, so I just want to follow in his footsteps. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something you're pretty much going to do, or is it something you got to work through a process, or you're going to decide after the school year, or when's that decision have to be made?
It's, I don't know. It's definitely my biggest option for sure, but
Okay.
if, playing football at the next level would definitely be, if I got the chance to. Would
Something
definitely-
could happen
yeah.
there as well. So it's still undecided. Ty, I know you said you were undecided too, but if you had your choice of what you want to do, say in 10 years from now, what do you want to be doing? Besides driving a big truck, we know
You
we know
can't
you
still
like
be the
to
quarterback
try.
at Freedom in
Right,
10
you can't still be the
can't,
quarterback of Freedom or Slippery Rock or anywhere these other fine institutions. And we know you're going to have a big truck. We know that. But what do you think you're going to be doing?
I don't know. I always thought like being a petroleum engineer, but I always looked.
There you go.
Always looked into flying too. I liked flying, but
Cool, John. What do you got for these guys?
That's an interesting choice of fields there. Kind of interesting work. What's your favorite subject in school? I assume maybe science when you're thinking of petroleum engineering, or
yeah, I like biology more than
Do you?
chemistry. I hate chemistry. It was not my strongest subject.
Uh-oh, chemistry's teacher. Pay attention there. You got a student, you better pay attention right here. I hope your teacher's listening.
how about you, Cody? What do you like? What classes?
Weightlifting.
An honest man.
I like it. I like it. So I'll ask this, and I haven't asked this yet. Okay, let's go first, Cody. Obviously, we know you like to score touchdowns, but if the game is on the line, would you rather, since you're defensive back, knock away a pass and stop a guy from scoring a winning touchdown, or catch the winning touchdown? Would you rather do?
Probably catch the winning touchdown for sure.
Okay, touchdowns at 6, big touchdowns. Ty, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Since you also, if I'm correct, play some defensive back as well, what would you rather do? throw the winning touchdown, run for the winning touchdown, or stop the winning touchdown?
I'd rather throw the winning touchdown.
There you go. Honest guys, John. That's
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
You know, what else you got for him? Got anything else?
You know, you have a new coach this year, and you know, beyond we talked about implementing a new offense, but just having a new coach, and you know, you've been used to having Coach Rosa for a couple of years. How big of a change is that to change coaches? Was it? It seems to go pretty smoothly. I mean, you're 1-0, and you have a new offense that's clicking. How did that transition go?
I mean, every year, like I feel like since I was like a freshman, we had a few different coaches, and Rosa stepped up. And then Baylog came in March, I think, and I liked his offense, and he's a good guy, and we're getting more closer, so I feel like I like him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so it's definitely a big change. We had one offensive scheme and now a completely new offensive scheme. So when Coach came in, I think we all did. It was a little rusty start, but once a couple months went by, we all came together, started figuring out, and I think everything started clicking. So I think we'll be all right for the remaining of the games.
All right, guys, you did good. We got your teammates coming back on for one more segment, but we're going to take one more break here. Don't forget about Pizza Joe's in Beaver, other locations as well, New Brighton and others, but Beaver, Pizza Joe's. Head on down to Pizza Joe's. They'll take care of you here on Beaver County Radio.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
This is Mitch Carver from Carver Construction. Playing a great football game takes teamwork, great leaders, and great individuals. As a former high school football coach myself, I know what it takes to win. I apply these same qualities to Carver Construction in New Brighton. Satisfying customers isn't anything new at Carver. We've been doing it since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. I'm behind every job we do, so I can guarantee you that every time you deal with us, you win. Call us or visit us at our website at carverconstructionpa.com.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care at 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com.
A Beaver County high school football season is here. Players protect that beautiful smile with a visit to your hometown dentist, Dr. Peter Montini and his team at St. Barnabas Dental. While tackling tooth decay is number one in the game plan, Dr. Montini offers a wide array of services, including custom-fitted athletic mouth guards, clear aligner orthodontics, virtually painless injections, and same-day crowns. Call or text 724-495-3350 to schedule your appointment today. St. Barnabas Dental in Beaver, creating beautiful smiles for life.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Okay, we're back. Coach's Corner, and we have got, I can't get confused here, Wyatt Boyer and Ty Welsh back with us again, drilling them with so many questions, John, all the tough questions. Let me ask you guys the same thing I asked before. Let's start with Wyatt. You play offensive line and defensive line. Blocking for your quarterback, you're blocking for your running back. Other than broadcasters and parents, a lot of times people don't know who you guys are. But if you had a chance to stop somebody from scoring a touchdown or block and have one of your teammates be the hero, what would you rather do?
Personally, I'd rather block and see one of my teammates get that big,
unselfish,
big
this guy.
score.
You hear this, Coach? Unselfish, this young man, Wyatt. Okay, now, Ty, how about you? You're defensive back, running back. What would you rather do?
Definitely run a touchdown.
Run the touchdown. Hey, the kids are honest, John.
They are.
I like the fact that they're honest. You guys, as seniors, you're leaders. You're a quieter guy, Ty, so you, I'm guessing, lead by example. So let's say the younger kids, the freshmen, the sophomores in your group, they're not paying attention to coaches. They're not doing the things that need to be done. And those kids are a play away from playing. I mean, do you say anything to them? What's your leadership like amongst your group of kids as running backs?
Sometimes. Cody usually beats me to it, though.
Okay. So you're more like just lead by example. Now, Wyatt, I was talking to Coach. He said you've got some young offensive linemen as freshmen. You got a lot of, and one of them plays, and you got a couple of kids as sophomores and juniors. So you got a whole bunch of kids below you. Same thing. They're fooling around. They're missing blocks. They're getting your quarterback killed. It seems to me you're the kind of guy that's going to grab somebody by the face mask. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. But our underclassmen are pretty respectable in practice. But of course, football is supposed to be fun, and we do like to have fun. But sometimes you gotta lock in, and us upperclassmen have to let them know.
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah,
take names.
Take charge.
Take names. Take them to the woodshed.
Yeah,
I get it. Is there a woodshed in Freedom that Coach takes you guys to if there's anything goes wrong? No.
There's got to be a woodshed somewhere.
Gotta be
Swiftly.
something
there
out there. Has to be. Okay, go ahead, John. What do you got? We're getting off track a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Ty's pretty quiet here, Wyatt. He hasn't much to say. Lets his 203 yards do the talking, which is cool.
One more break.
What should we know about him that we don't know? What's something you can tell us about Ty?
Well, Welsh is a pretty hard worker, especially in the off season. He's always in the gym, lifting weights. Even before our team lifts, he's in the gym, which I don't know how he does that, but he makes it happen. And on Friday nights, he's always cool. He doesn't, get over his head. He doesn't flip out, which is always good. And he's just a great teammate.
Ty, how do you get in the gym that early? He seems kind of baffled by it, and I've never been to your weightlifting session, so I'll ask you how you.
I have a friend. His name's JT. He goes to the gym like every day.
Okay.
And he always asks me, so I'd go with him.
Cool. How about Wyatt? What can we know about Wyatt that maybe we don't know in our little talk here tonight? He would seem to be one of the more vocal guys on the team.
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me a little. One of the funnier guys on the team, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He usually stays pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm. Who's the most vocal guy on your team? Who would you say if you had to pick one
Cody.
guy?
Yeah,
Cody?
definitely Cody.
Guys, let's talk about away from sports. It doesn't matter if it's a night. You're done with football. You don't have any studying to do. You're done with studying. What do you do to relax? Wyatt?
I mean, it depends. If it's a chilly night, I'll get on the PS5, relax. But if there's a fire somewhere, I'll go hang out with my buddies. Like Welsh, we'll go sit somewhere.
Okay.
Just relax.
So Ty, same thing. I mean, you go to the movies, go to the Pirate game, go to the Steeler game, go to a Pitt game, hang out with friends. What do you guys do besides go to hang out at a fire?
You just play the game, like PlayStation.
PlayStation. Okay, so you're on PlayStation. What's the game on PlayStation you guys play?
Right now it's Madden.
Madden, pretty much. Who's the best at it?
Probably Caden Morton.
Okay, so is he on the team?
Yeah, 77.
77.
He's a senior.
He's a senior. Caden Martin, he's the best at Madden.
Oh, yeah.
Who's his best challenger?
Probably Dakota Roberts, number 8.
Wow. You're giving the teammates some props on a different game.
Yeah. You should have a Madden night and invite them.
That's exactly. Maybe we should have a Madden tournament of all the teams
should.
in the Beaver County.
I know.
Get Madden to sponsor it, though.
Yeah.
Me and you got to make some money.
It'd be hard for him to sponsor it.
Well, he's dead, but I mean,
yes.
he's passed. But so okay. Besides that, if you're going to go on a date, where do you guys go? Where do you take your favorite girl? Where do you go?
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. He's
Probably
treating her right.
Yeah, probably my
really?
favorite.
Is that
Sounds like a good idea. Can I go with you guys now?
Yeah. Triple date, we'll all go. Yeah. John, what else you got for them before I take our next break?
You worked hard all summer and everything. When that comes together like it did in the second half the other night, how satisfying is that to say, hey, we got a chance to be a really good team this year. And I know it's just one game, but a lot of times that first game really can set the tone for the entire season. I mean, how good a feeling was it walking off that field last Friday night?
I mean, of course, it was a great feeling with the big win, but it was even better knowing that as a team this year with all the new guys, we can really come together as one group and get the job done.
Well, guys, we appreciate everything you've done for us here tonight. If there's one thing you want to say to your fans and to your families, what would you say? Start with you.
Just keep coming to support us.
Keep coming to support us. Wyatt, what do you think?
I mean, we got to shout out our cheerleaders, our band members, our student sections, of course, all the moms and dads out there, the grandmas, grandpas, They always come out on Fridays.
Right, man. This guy got it all. I mean, this is a true leader right here. Guys, we appreciate it. We're gonna stay on. We're gonna slide you out and bring your coach back in. Guys, thanks for coming in. Coach, you want to come back in with it real quick for us? You guys can slide out real quick. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We got our breaks in, so we're gonna get Coach Ron Ballog back on. Coach, you heard what the kids said. You got some talkative guys. You got some quieter guys. And as leaders, you can't have all talkers. You got to have guys leading by example. But this group of guys, how do you feel they have responded, and how do you feel they are with the younger kids? I know your coaches have to see it, and then your coaches report back to you, and you guys get together. How do you feel these guys are as far as leaders?
I think they're great as leaders, and the reason I think that is because the community itself is not a real big community, so everybody knows everybody. So they know those younger guys as they're growing up, and then as those younger guys become part of Freedom football at the varsity level, they already had experience with a lot of these guys from knowing them over the years from different sports. So I think that's one of the reasons why they're good leaders, because they've known them, they've known their families over time.
Google's a great thing, Mike. I did a little Googling the other day, and you and Coach Busby at Western Beaver went to the same high school, St. Clairsville in Ohio. How in the world did you guys wind up in Beaver County from St. Clairsville?
Well, John, yeah, so we did. We played together at St. Clairsville High School in Ohio, and I ended up after college in Pittsburgh in 92, after graduation, and have been here off and on since then. And then Ron Busby started started his teaching career, coaching career back home, and then ended up here in Western Pennsylvania.
It's kind of odd how that worked out.
It is.
Do you guys keep in touch a lot? Do you talk a lot? I mean, I know you're in the same conference and competitors, but do you still have a good close relationship?
Yeah. So Ron and I have talked quite a bit, in the past few years when I was at Quaker Valley, and then last year when I was at North Catholic. And, he was a guy that talk about leaders. He was a great leader when we were in high school. He was a great football player. Yeah, we do. We talk.
So Freedom at Ambridge, 6:30 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff. And then Saturday it'll be Shenango at Coach Busby's, Western Beaver, 12 o'clock, airtime, 12:30 kickoff. Quickly, we're going to just run through some other games if you guys want to comment. In 5A, Montour plays at Moon, another rivalry. West Allegheny, after their win last week at Moon, they play South Fayette. Armstrong plays at Aliquippa. Aliquippa opens their brand new stadium. Of course, Freedom Ambridge. And then Highlands plays at Blackhawk. Any comment on that from either of you two guys?
Well, there's a lot of good slates of ball games, and teams keep ramping up for conference play. And, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And, you get a better idea after a team plays 2 games of just what they have and what they might be able to do this year. So, we'll see how it all shakes out this weekend.
Coach, does any of those games strike out to you or anything you know about any of those teams?
Well, what I would say is that's a great slate of games for week 1.
Right.
Just some great schools playing together.
Then in 3A, Beaver Falls goes to Beaver. Beaver a winner last week over Western Beaver. Central Valley goes to Avonworth. Pretty tough matchup right there right away. Mohawk goes to Quaker Valley. It should be interesting to see if Quaker Valley can get off the schneid. That's in 3A. Beaver Falls pretty impressive last week. 3-quarterback system. Coach, they tried 3 different QBs. Some played better than others, but they choose to replace their star, a 3 or 4 year starter, Mr. Brickner, with 3 quarterbacks. And at times it was good, and at times it was confusing. How tough is that as a coach to try to get 3 QBs enough playing time?
Well, I think the big question there, Mike, is rhythm, right? You're looking to try to find a rhythm with one of the guys. And, Nick's a great coach, and he obviously knows what he's doing, and I'm sure they're trying to find the answer amongst those three young men.
2A, we've got Hopewell at New Brighton. Both teams took tough opening night losses. Southside Beaver at Riverside, and Union at Elwood City. Union had an unbelievable year in every sport last year. Every sport you can imagine had a terrific year. Elwood City with, I believe, second-year coach in River. Yeah, exactly.
Who's now the basketball coach, too, so that's going to take on some responsibility.
And Riverside with a new coach as well. Anything strike you amongst those teams? Oh, Hopewell with a brand new coach as well.
I tell you the game, going back to the earlier slate, the one I totally forgot I wanted to say, is Armstrong and Aliquippa. I don't know how good of a matchup as far as on the field, but Aliquippa opening the revamped Ashman Stadium, which is now known as Heinz Field.
Right.
And I think that's going to be very interesting. I mean, I haven't been there, but all the pictures I've seen and people who have seen it tell me that it's a tremendous facility. And, I know Ashman Stadium has really become run down over the last few years. So it's nice that they were able to fix it up, and it'll be, I'm sure, a good point of pride for the community to open the stadium on Friday night.
Coach, some of those teams you'll be playing, New Brighton, Riverside, Elwood City, I believe. Anything stick out to you amongst any of those teams? What do you know about any of them?
Well, what I do know is that those teams are always tough to play. They always have kids that play hard, and they always have good coaches. And Dan's second year at Elwood City, John mentioned he took over the basketball job, and they have a really good group of young kids, from what I understand, in the younger classes.
So finally, in single way, Monessen travels all the way to Cornell. Long trip there. Cornell, I believe, won their first game last week. Shenango at Western Beaver. Western with a tough loss. And Rochester, they get their first game. They had a scrimmage last week. They have a tough opening week 1 at Our Lady of Sacred Heart. Olch looks to have a pretty good team. Western has a lot of skill, Coach. I know you know them. They started off strong last week, but they really had a tough time in the second half with Freedom with just way too many mistakes, and it cost them as they lost 35-14.
Yeah, it was a tough game. That game was a tale of two halves, kind of like ours. And the one thing that I do know is that Coach Busby will get those guys going, moving in the right direction, because they've got a boatload of skilled talent on that team, and he's a defensive guru, so they'll get it going.
Well, we're almost ready to wrap it up. John, anything real quick? 10 seconds. You got anything?
It was great to meet the new coach at Freedom and the players, and I really enjoyed it, and I can see why they're off to a successful start.
There you go. We want to thank Pizza Joe's in Beaver. New Brighton, unfortunately, is closed down. Thank you to Pizza Joe's in Beaver. Again, do not forget, Freedom at Ambridge, 6:30 airtime on our airwaves, 7 o'clock kickoff, and then Saturday, Shenango at Western Beaver, 12 o'clock airtime, 12:30 kickoff. We want to thank our producer, Ryan Garazunas. We want to thank John Parada. We want to thank Coach Ron Balog, and also Cody Patterson.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM.
Thank you for joining us here
in addition to
on the Coach's
1230
Corner. Go
WBVB
Bulldogs.
Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.